Welcome back, everybody. We're going to tackle a fun one today. This is from 1971. This is Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. Opening track off of Led Zeppelin 4. And just another example of Jimmy Page and his guitar arrangement brilliance, and just a great rock tune. And actually the riff was written by, I think, John Paul Jones. But a great example of the band itself coming together around that riff and just making this great song. So we're going to talk about all the rhythm guitar parts that Jimmy's doing, and I'll break down the guitar solo for that. So hey, if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, please jump down and click subscribe and ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I drop new content, which I do every single week. All my lessons have chapters in them, so you can jump right to the part of the lesson that you want to see and bypass what you don't. And if you're looking for other ways to support the channel, I appreciate that. There's thanks, just like throwing a tip in the tip jar, or even better, you can join my Patreon page where I've got chord charts and tabs for all the lessons I do on YouTube, just like this one. Links in the description, so check it out. And one last thing before we get started, you may notice that I'm probably not going to have some slick demos of the whole parts put together on here. Led Zeppelin is super, or whoever owns their publishing, they're just super protective. And they demonetize like that if they catch a lot of stuff. So I'm going to do the lessons for all the parts on here. When I get to editing, I may or may not have something in there that might knit these things together. But if not, that's why. It's just I can't have my video demonetized. I will not. All right, so this song is in A. And in terms of tone, how I'm getting my signal path is I'll have the details below in the description. But there's a great video from a couple months ago that Rhett Shull did where he talked about how Jimmy Page got his tone. For a lot of this, he plugged into directly into a couple Universal Audio compressors, I want to say. Plugged into one and then ran that into another and then directly into the board. So it's sort of this great full, but a little bit buzzy kind of sound. Direct, so it's not actually an amp, but I don't have the ability to do all that. So I'll share what I'm doing in the description below. The amp that I'm coming out of, though, is my 50 watt Plexi reissue, attenuated down. All right, but this is in A. So song opens with the vocal, right? So the riff. So the riff is going to be played like this. Okay, so there's actually two guitars. Or at least two guitars. There's double tracking going on there. Like I said, at least one of the guitars ends with this, where you bend into the A, and I think the other one just leaves it running. But the riff is just played right here. I think of it based off of the A minor pentatonic, right? Right? And does it again. I'm not even going to begin to try and describe the time signature stuff that's going on here. So my tabs will actually have it mapped out, but anyway, that's way beyond what I can actually even explain or attempt to explain. But that's the first part. Okay, then it runs through that part one more time. And then it goes into the B part, I guess I'll call it, right? And here's the part that trips up a lot of people and a lot of wrong information out there on the YouTube. Well, not wrong, but if you want to try and get it like they played like the record, there's some unique things that happen here, okay? So this is the part I'm talking about. Okay, so you'll notice there's sort of more notes than maybe you were used to playing or you've heard other people teach on, but I want to talk about that. So let's just talk about this part here. That little part right there, you know, all my life, like many people, sort of did this thing. But that's not right. There's another note in there. And you can hear him, he sort of trips up. It doesn't follow like a correct, you know, it's not eighth notes. Like there's like an odd number of notes in there. And it happens at this spot. Here. I don't know how to explain that, but you can hear the band sort of, or at least Jimmy and John Paul Jones, and it's great that they are like right in line with each other during that part, but there is this odd sort of speed up, like catching back up to the beat kind of feel that happens in that. Right? It's just very cool. And if they really thought about that and on purpose built that into it, like, more power to them. You guys are geniuses anyway. If that wasn't in there, it would just be this very simple plodding along. And there's just no interest there. Right, that's a lot. Anyway, it's a lot funner to play like that. Let me go into the oh yeah. So those little major scale bend. It's not a full bend. It doesn't get happy with it. It's like that. Right, another one of those. So love that little part there. Just keeps going. So those are the verse parts that we've gone through now. So that really is it. Right, and the B part. Right, that whole part. All right, so then the other part, the next little break, I don't even know if this is a bridge, I don't even know what to call it, like, you know, after that vocal part, it's hey baby, whoa baby, right? So that's one guitar, G, big G, big D. Another one is gonna end it differently. Another one does that. Been too long when I found out. Right. Anyway, so right, one's holding down chords. And one of them is more of the single note stuff. And then combined, it gets you the layered greatness that is Jimmy, right? Okay, so the only other part left now in terms of what I'll call the rhythm guitar parts is the harmony, right? So the main riff. Right, that's the main riff. The last time that goes around before the guitar solo, there's a harmony that he puts on top of it. I'll show you what it is, and then I'll tell you why that's working, what it is. And I'm out of tune. If you're thinking of building a riff off of the A chord, which he did, you're just continuing, you're just harmonizing with that line, one string over the same A chord. And keeping it major. All right. If you wanted to play them together, you kind of can. And that's what it is. That's right. So you're just taking an A and you're just introducing the next string over along with it. Kind of sounds like garbage if one guitar does it. You need to have it picked individually, but that's what's going on. And that gets us to the guitar solo. Now on the rhythm guitar, under the guitar solo is the that whole thing. Again and again, all right? So that's what the rhythm guitar is doing. Now let's talk about the lead guitar, what it's doing. All right, on lead guitar, you may have noticed I switched guitars, and that's because I do a lot of hot takes about Jimmy Page, and a lot of them involve his Telecaster. I think he plays his Tele on a lot more things than I think people give him credit for. And I think this is one of them, frankly. I think he plays his solo on the Tele. That's my opinion. I know you're going to fight me in the comments. It sounds epic and awesome on a Les Paul on the bridge pickup. Yes, it does. But I just think there's so much of a tone difference, including he adds on the Leslie swirling sound on this, but I still think it's a Telecaster. It just got somewhat of a, I don't know, more punch to it. So anyway, like I said, fight me in the comments, but here's all the parts, right? Okay. So like I said, there's a change in tone. It's a little less fuzzy. It's not that sort of UA compressor thing. I think this is through an amp that he's doing. And he's got a Leslie going on here. But this is all, it's going to open up in major scale. And where we're going with all of this, by the way, love this solo because it just sort of explores, it kind of goes up and down the neck into almost every possible A or A major or A pentatonic position. And it makes it interesting because you're going to start down here. You're sort of going to migrate up here, then you're going to move to this position, and then you're going to get up here to this position, and you're going to work your way back down again. So it's just traveling, you know, story, if you will. Okay. All right, I'm on my bridge pickup for this. Okay, so it opens up in a sort of an A major scale thing. So total happy country. That's just all A scale. And I think maybe he hits both. Maybe it's just the one, but that's where he's going. 3 times. Now the chords on this next part are the big G and the D, right? Right? So what he does after that one is, so it's right, think of your sort of rock bend on a G position. Is the riff. There you go. So that gets you through the G and the D. Then he climbs back up, and here's where we're going to migrate to our next position. Love that. Does that sort of, got that double stop going. That's our BB King box here. And then he's done with that position. Now he's going to come up to this next position. And you hear it. You sort of hear that you know that he's going to switch because he's got a higher note coming up. But you hear him hit this open G string pop when he moves to the next position. So, whoops. Right? It's that A minor pentatonic. Right? So getting up there again. And we're going to come up here to our next position. Love that. It's bent out of tune, right? He's got that note, sort of, that B string pulled a little tight, right? Love that. And we're going to come back down to our rock A minor pentatonic lick here. So that's just bending. Repeat. So that he sort of comes out of it. I maybe not have that 100% note for note, but just milks everything out of that position. Then you get this great Jimmy Pageism that you hear a million times on all the live recordings. So you're on your A or A minor pentatonic position. Just great. That's where it really starts sounding like the telly to me, don't you? It just sounds better or sounds closer to the record. And then this next part, oh my gosh, gave me trouble. But what this next little run is that it comes out of it is, okay. So in context. He climbs up here, hit that open D string. You clearly hear him just, I always thought it was like a pre-bend. It's not. I don't know what kind of scale that is, but oh my gosh. And then we're back to our opening part. And then he modifies that last little bit. You're going to slide on the A string and just really catch that. Like I said, I have no idea what the hell scale that is. So yeah, he just moves every one of those positions, and just great. It just makes it fun to play. You're just rocking in position A, then you move to position B, then you move to position C, and it's so great. So, all right, let me see if I can string all that together. about as good as I'm going to do on that, but all right. Well, that is Black Dog by Led Zeppelin, and the guitar greatness of Jimmy Page, of course. And I hope you learned something new today. So if this is the kind of thing that you like and you haven't done so yet, please jump down, click subscribe, ring the bell. Bell lets you know when I drop new content. I do that every single week. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this, and if there's another song you want me to take on and do something similar, let me know what that is too. But until next week, take care, everybody.